Why did you cover all that shit?
Here we go. We're technically live on YouTube, Tony. So let's,
Oh, hey, hi guys.
Say hi to everyone. This is Mike the Business, Tony and Jay in the back here. I don't know if you guys can hear me. We have
What's up, Florida girls?
Yeah, we have a little bit of camera difficulties today. I can't get my other webcam set up for whatever reason, or it's not popping up. I think I need a new hub. Might have to order a new one online. So in the meantime, we're kind of using our MacBook, the trademark MacBook, the webcam over here. So you're gonna see maybe half of my face and half of Tony's face. Jay and Tony might have to get in here a little closer to each other if they want to,
not too close.
If they want to talk. But a lot going on Raw and SmackDown this past week. NXT also. We have a new #1 contender for that NXT Championship. And, of course, the women's division on NXT is starting to get a little stirred up with Bayley and Asuka. Well, that's what I would call her, if I was super American. But, since
I am super American, that's
Tony's Lebanese.
He is super.
Hey, Tony,
American.
Your camera kind of adjusted, or not your camera, your mic kind of adjusted more that way. There you go.
A little bit better.
And push it back just a little bit, like back this way, like more where my hand is, just push it back. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Just turn it back. Well, not too far back, but enough distance where you get like that. There you go. You see that? Like how I have that. Sounds good. But anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off this week's show.
It's also let's not forget Battleground last Sunday.
We're going to talk about Battleground, of course, Monday Night Raw, the new era, as well as SmackDown's new era, which is the brand split finally. So let's get it going. I'm going to post up the link here on our Facebook page.
And the return of the red and the blue ropes.
Oh, gosh, yes, the infamous red and blue ropes, right?
Yes.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to post this up on our Facebook page, so for everyone that's watching.
And your hands in my face.
All the fans out. Yeah, hold on. I'm just going to do that really quick. Sorry. Reflex. Okay, so I'm going to have to be leaning forward. We are
Shelton
live.
Benjamin.
Rhino,
does he really look chunkier?
Wait, hold on.
he's always been that big.
Is he 5'9", 270?
He's short, though. He used to be a little leaner back then, actually.
He got chunky. I guess that campaign money fed him a few buffets or two,
He probably gored a few. Or gorged a few.
I am so thirsty. I'm going to go get me a drink. Y'all want to drink another water?
No, I'm good.
I'm good, man. I'm saving the rest of my appetite.
Are live. Okay.
For alcohol later on tonight.
Okay, so in the meantime, while Tony's getting his water, I'm gonna go ahead and start the actual recording, Tony.
Okay.
So hopefully I can get it edited tonight and then I'll send it to Chris.
The words of Jim Ignatowski. Okie doke.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give myself a countdown on 5, 4, 3. Oh wait. Hello, everyone. This is Mike the Business, and you're listening to Armbar Radio on 97.7 FM, The City. I'm hoping that everyone's mics work here today. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not sure if I'm getting anything on your end over here, Jay. Here we go, hopefully. So welcome. Say hello, Jay.
Hello.
There you go. I finally got that turned on. I think the button was turned off. But this is 97.7 FM, The City, as I said, and this is Armbar Radio. You guys, if this is the first time you're listening to us, this is a wrestling radio podcast that we do here on a weekly basis at the station, and it's an hour long. We talk about WWE, TNA, sometimes we talk about the MMA world. Mr. J over here, Mr. WrestlePedia is what we like to call him, is very knowledgeable on all other sports like boxing, MMA, the stuff wrestling that goes on outside of the U.S., Japan Pro Wrestling, all that good stuff, right? So we're here to talk about all the ins and outs, but like this past week, a lot of stuff went down. We had Battleground, which Jay just mentioned to me on our YouTube live stream, and of course we have Monday Night Raw, the new era, basically the first day of the brand split, and SmackDown Tuesday live, and that's interesting to say, right? But
no more spoilers on SmackDown.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I didn't get to watch SmackDown, so you guys are gonna have to fill me in on that. But I don't know. Did you guys want to get started with Battleground?
Let's do it.
Any matches that you want to talk about specifically?
Let's talk about the matches that I sent you the star ratings for from this past Sunday's Battleground. The ones that got 3 stars are up from the Wrestling Observer, which is ran by Dave Meltzer. Starting with, of course, the 6-man tags that both got 3 1/4, 3.5 stars with New Day against the Wyatt family. The last time we'd see the Wyatt family as a unit, especially with Bray and Rowan going to SmackDown and Strowman going to Raw, and the New Day staying intact, but they got some new challengers on the horizon. More on that later. Your thoughts on that 6-man tag, guys?
I wanted Bray Wyatt and them to win. I'm getting tired of New Day. I'm sorry. If I have to rant, I'll rant. New Day falls, and it did fall. And I'm happy they fell because time for a change.
And they fell harder the next night on Raw. So
yeah, I'm tired of this. I want the Wyatts to get a big push. I want them to be a championship already. I'm tired of it already.
Yeah, but the problem is the Wyatts are not eligible for a tag title opportunity because they're on SmackDown.
Well, if you think about it, you see Braun Strowman, Luke Harper. When Luke Harper gets out of injury, he could probably end up being in Raw.
Yeah, most likely. He went undrafted, as did the very infamous Heath Slater, baby.
Boy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Heath Slater or anything like that, but that was a surprise that he didn't go. It's a surprise to me that he went undrafted, excuse me. But going back to the Wyatts and the New Day, I kind of agree with I don't agree. I agree and I disagree with their star rating, whether they give it 3 1/4 star or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was. Let me take a look at that.
Yeah, I have it here. Well, I have what you sent me here, and I don't necessarily agree. I think that was probably one of my least favorite matches of the night, and I wasn't sold on the whole feud to begin with, Xavier Woods being scared of Bray Wyatt.
Especially when the compound was somewhat of at least a lot of people felt it was a ripoff of the Final Deletion.
Yeah, so no comment there. Like I said, I mean, I'm glad the match just was quick and they went over it really quick, and I wasn't.
Husband is injured, and you figure, okay,
There we go.
push her, and then drop her to a heel. I thought that was just. I think that's just horrible. I mean, ludicrous on that part. I mean, they build her up for a champion. Now she's going back and backstabbing Becky Lynch. So what's going on? Becky Lynch, every time she gets close to somebody, they're going to have to do is book somebody to be the heel and backstab her.
It's like, the opposite of Charlotte.
Why don't they just call her the Irish Curse instead of the alternative word? I'm not going to mention.
Not the lost clicker.
Yeah.
The lost kicker.
Why don't they just call her the Irish Curse? Because she's cursed with no friends. I mean, it's ridiculous. What else? Matt, I knew that the Rusev and Zack Ryder match was the throwaway match. I knew he was set up to lose.
I don't think he got anything other than a 2-star rating.
That was just a downer to me. The thing I like one of my favorite matches, I would say the heavyweight championship, the triple threat was great. Oh, and Randy Orton and Chris Jericho. That was actually
Randy Orton, Chris Jericho. Did you like that, Tony?
I did like that. I knew it was so predictable he was going to RKO him somehow. But
what do you guys think of Randy Orton being back, though, and him being
he looks great.
set up versus Brock Lesnar? He looks leaner to me, yeah.
He's ready to get back in there. I wasn't too sold with Orton versus Lesnar, but we just got to see how it pans out.
Just got to build it up, man. They just got to build it up. Man, what else?
We got 2 viewers on our YouTube podcast live stream over here, by the way, guys.
Hey, 2 viewers, what's up?
No loves, baby.
Love.
Whoever's watching.
I know it's a late night, guys. Bear with us.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties and all, but
Yeah, we're missing our webcam over here, so we have to use my laptop's webcam. So we're kind of tight, like a tiger.
I did like John Cena, Enzo Amore. And
that was probably my.
That was a great promo on Enzo, and he just reminds me of Beetlejuice. I tell you, he's going back and forth.
Which was the original ring name of the late great Armbar, who was part of Los Gringos Locos with another late great Eddie Guerrero. So. He kind of Enzo reminds me a little bit of Armbar.
I
like
just
how
gotta
they
say
started
Enzo
the match,
Amore
though.
3 times. He just crazy.
Yeah, I love how they started the match where he was just like spilling out all these rhymes and making fun of their opponents, the club, and saying all these bad things about AJ Styles calling him having a mom's
soccer
haircut,
mom
haircut.
and
I'm starting to look like a soccer mom.
Calling the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson out, and I'm just like, wow, this is hilarious. And of course, Big Cass got in on it, and John Cena's just there in the ring corner and like applauding it because you can see how worked the crowd is when Enzo and Big Cass are out there just spilling it out, making fun of it, and they're, how you doing,
Don't eat that yellow snow. That's all.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Don't do that.
So that was very fun to watch.
And I know I keep it PG, but don't stare at somebody while they're eating a
yellow snow cone or
a banana.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what? You got to take those into consideration, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean gentlemen. Unless you like that kind of thing, it's all good. Anyhow,
yeah. Let's go to the main event, though.
Yes, let's
the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. You have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus the WWE Champion Dean Ambrose for that triple threat match. What do you guys think?
That was a close call.
Do you agree that it was a 4.5-star match?
Well, that was actually Zayn and Owens. I got 4.5 stars.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the top.
I did like that match.
Okay, you agree it was a 4-star match then?
Yes.
Because that's what they rated it, a 4-star match regardless. I don't think, by the way, I don't think KO and Zayn was a 4.5-star match.
I vote maybe 3 1/4.
It was up there. I think it was a 4-star though. I don't think it was surpassed that triple threat match though. But that's just me, I guess. Because
the triple threat was awesome because it was going to be a first, last, and only, like Lawrence Taylor's in-ring career, first, last, and only time in the WWE. Because Ambrose is on SmackDown, Reigns and Rollins are on Raw, but a balance of power, all about the WWE World Championship. More on that in a second, or perhaps later on in our broadcast. But especially with the pressure, but yet the pep talk Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan gave Dean Ambrose, it was like, I'm sorry, I know there's your Rollins fans out there, you got your Reigns fans, but Ambrose to some degree is more the underdog because he doesn't have that look of a WWE superstar. Doesn't look like he does CrossFit the way Rollins does. Doesn't have the big muscle look like Reigns, but yet you still want to pull for Ambrose. And you know what? That's why I'm always going to be Mr. SmackDown because SmackDown is always going to be looked at as some way as the underdog shows. I'm like, come on, we want that title on the blue brand. And it was a great matchup. And ultimately, I was glad to see Dean Ambrose walk away with the title and bring that balance of power to Tuesday nights. But as far as Zayn and Owens, I have to agree. I thought it was a 4.5 star. They put it out there. The way I looked at the Zayn and Owens, especially the second Haluva kick.
Yeah.
If you remember WrestleMania 24, it was not a "I'm sorry, I love you, sweet chin music." It was a "you brought this on yourself" Haluva kick. He laid in that second Haluva kick, ending the match and perhaps the feud with Owens.
Well, I mean, the only thing I really like about this ending or whatever you want to call it to the feud is that Sami Zayn, he's putting out a more aggressive and a more assertive version of himself that you didn't really get to see on NXT. I mean, maybe just a little bit. He brought it out when NXT, when Kevin Owens was, getting in his face and everything like that. But, recently, after his debut on Raw, you didn't really get that, it factor from Sami Zayn. And ever since, he cut that promo saying, oh, I want this to be the last of it, and blah, 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 blah. He's you can tell the intensity in his style of matches and his promos are a lot more, He's given a lot more. So, I mean, that's the only thing that I'm taking away from it, So, I mean, I agree that the match was good, but, like I said, I'm still not thinking
I don't see it as 4. I think it was maybe 2.5, 3 1/4.
I don't think it's that low for me, though, but.
But you wouldn't have ranked it as high as the Wrestling Observer.
It reminds me of it reminds me of so many past rivalries with the Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. When they had that final late arrest brawl.
the final Hell in a Cell at the final Bad Blood pay-per-view in 2004.
Exactly.
Final
So,
bet.
I don't think it was the best closing fight of the year or the decade because I've seen better. I think Shawn Michaels and Triple H had the best storyline. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They had the best. I mean, their rivalry was for what? How many years?
Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they're
2-year rivalry?
at least, from the summer of 2002.
2-year rivalry.
Early
They
summer
made
of
it
2004.
They made it so interesting. Yet, these guys had the rivalry for how long? 2 years?
Zayn and Owens, pretty much off and on, really about almost 7 years, counting their days in Ring of Honor and in NXT.
Yeah, but they've had a rivalry in in Ring of Honor also.
Yeah, when Zayn was known as El Generico and Owens was known as Kevin Steen. Heck, they were tag team champions at one time. They were the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. But that ended, of course, and well,
I mean, they got great chemistry,
especially
but
just
not as great as Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
they look so matched up, especially when they have the hockey brawl. They're always like hooked up, where they're pounding on one another, like when they're fighting. It just looks so evenly matched as the underdog from the underground and the prize fighters. So
But if you think about Kevin Owens, it's so repetitive. It's always powerbomb after powerbomb. That's all he knows how to do is deliver a powerbomb. That's like, wow. We all obviously know that he knows how to do a powerbomb.
yeah, he can
He
throw a
doesn't-
few super kicks also.
Yeah, but Triple H was like the mastermind. He could beat anybody up in any technique. It's not always a pedigree. He'll get a sledgehammer. He'll do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah, but
That's
the
why he was-
sledgehammer illegal in a wrestling ring.
Well, I mean, part of the storyline, but he's a cerebral assassin for a reason.
Yeah.
He can do many moves. It doesn't have to be, constantly a pedigree and a sledgehammer or knee to the face. He could do anything.
Or a super kick.
Or a super kick. Oh my gosh.
You know
get me
Tony
started
loves
on
those
that.
super kicks and DDTs over here, right? Okay, so let's kick off Raw, guys. The new era, the new brand split. I mean,
The Red Ropes are back.
the Red Ropes is something that I thought you guys would have caught on, and no one mentioned it until I mentioned it.
I know some more.
What's that?
That the commentators are now near
They're
the
in the back.
entrance.
Yeah, they moved.
That reminds me of the Ruthless Aggression era in 2003.
Yeah, that's when Eric Bishop was the Raw GM and
Yeah.
coach, and whoever else, Al Snow, were commentating Raw back in the
I mean,
day.
if you think about it, it was getting a little too redundant to have the commentators next to the ring. Y'all knew that someone's gonna.
I think it's more of a pay-per-view thing, or it should be a pay-per-view thing, because we still like to see those announce tables, broken in, especially the Mexican announce table. But they've been teasing us a little bit as of late. I don't know if anyone's ever.
Why don't they do it
noticed
to the Germans or the Russians? They have those two.
those are like way back there in the middle of the.
Unless it's a no holds barred match.
So okay, going forward.
What's up, Chris? He says, "What's up?"
Chris? No gloves, baby.
No gloves,
So, Chris is a longtime wrestling fan and a big fan of Armbar. So big shout outs to you, bro. We'll see you at HEB in the next couple of days. Hopefully, I'll be there.
He's
the
on
weekend.
vacation, guys.
Oh man, enjoy your vacation, Chris. Man, too sweet, baby. But so going back, let's talk about Foley and 70 McMahon starting off Raw, right? And they make a big announcements. They announce 2 Fatal 4-Way matches, and the winner of each of those will main event Raw that evening. And whoever wins that match goes on to face Seth Rollins for the new WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. What was it?
Does anybody like that Universal?
I don't know.
No.
I hate that. It should be just called World Heavyweight Championship. But you know what? Maybe they're paying tribute to Carlos Colon for the WWC,
World Wrestling Council out of Puerto Rico.
Universal Championship. But come on, guys.
But
really?
I remember the text Mike the Biz sent us, and I'm thinking, oh my.
It's not going to look like it, right? That championship.
I mean, I doubt it,
Let's
but
see it.
Oh yeah,
it's a good
I saw it
How did you
online.
put that together? That was genius.
So yeah, I sent Tony and Jay a text with basically a mock-up of what the title would look like. And if you guys are familiar with movies, then you'll know the Universal logo.
the
It's
Universal
just
logo, Universal Pictures.
yeah, Universal Pictures. Basically, it's just a big world with Universal in the middle. So someone went and photoshopped it,
yeah.
and they put it in
With the
the
WWE
middle.
plates.
Yeah, with the WWE plates on on the side, and I'm just like, wow, okay, I need to send this to Tony and the guys. That way, give them a good old laugh.
Well, here's a serious question I got for you, Mike, and it's a bit of a two-parter, and also for you, Tony.
Okay.
You remember the original brand extension that took place in 2002, when originally, and this is what we wanted when the brand split was coming back, to have the WWE Championship exclusive to both shows.
Yeah.
Instead, WWE decided, no, we're going to have Dean Ambrose or whoever the WWE champion would be heading into the draft exclusive to their respective show, which in Ambrose's case is SmackDown. Brock Lesnar was the final undisputed champion in 2002. He was SmackDown contracted, but ultimately decided instead of defending the title on both shows, no, he's only going to defend it on SmackDown. And then, of course, Raw brought what was the NWA, then later WCW World Heavyweight Championship, brought it to WWE. I talked to another old friend of mine who, longtime wrestling fan, but, was kind of like, I guess, jaded to the situation. And he said, honestly, his thought process was the real champion's Brock Lesnar. That belt that Triple H, as he put it, that belt Triple H is carrying around means nothing. The real title goes to SmackDown. Do you guys feel the same way when it comes to the pending Universal Championship that's coming to Raw? Because in my opinion, the real champion is Dean Ambrose. That Universal title isn't really worth recognizing.
I feel like it's a paper championship.
Same here. I agree.
Or as my friend used to say, Cracker Jack box title.
I agree, but at the same time, you have to look at it, at one point, back in then when they actually, brought that, secondary title in, which was the World Heavyweight title, at that time, they were focusing so much on it that it really, shadowed away the WWE Championship, or what was then known as the WWE Undisputed Championship. And a lot of the main events were, when Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion, and they were, he was the main event for WrestleMania or whatever pay-per-view, for a couple of years, it was that way.
Yeah, but even then, doesn't mean that his matches overshadowed whoever the WWE
so
champion
I'm not trying to say the WWE champion or the WWE World Heavyweight title, because they're calling it now that again, is irrelevant now that they're going to bring out.
Both Raw and SmackDown as champ.
I agree.
He does not agree with that, and he agrees with that. And plus, that World Heavyweight Championship, they changed the belts in a period of 3 years.
Yeah.
They changed the belts in a period of 3 years.
From the spinner WWE title to what we have now, or when it said WWE World Heavyweight Championship to now it just says WWE Championship.
I mean, you might as well bring back the spinner title and call it the Universal Championship. I mean,
when the Hardcore Championship was just an old school WWE Championship, just broken into little pieces.
Yeah.
Which many thought was the destroyed version of the title that Mr. Perfect destroyed on Saturday Night's Main Event years and years ago.
And then they bring it back to a Hardcore Championship. They need to bring the Hardcore Championship back.
Maybe we'll see something new, hopefully, within the next couple of weeks. I mean,
that could be SmackDown's, championship also.
Yeah.
European title should be involved.
They even bring in a television championship, something WWE has never had.
Well, see, if Raw could have a Cruiserweight Championship, why don't they bring the television championship for SmackDown?
Well, time will tell.
Agreed.
And then, of course, let's talk about the Fatal 4-Way matches, where this is where I'm going to also kind of talk to you guys about, because you guys were very critical about one of the participants in the Fatal 4-Way, but we'll get into that. One of them was, of course, Rusev, Cesaro, Sheamus, and the debuting to the main roster, Finn Balor, where Finn Balor was victorious in that match. Later on, of course, was Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, and I'm not really too sure who the fourth participant was. But Reigns won that match. But then we got to the main event, Roman Reigns and Finn Balor.
Chris Jericho was involved, right?
Yeah, in one of those matches.
It was actually Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he was involved in that first match, I think, with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But like Jay said, Reigns won that Fatal 4-Way. But let's talk about.
They're burying him big time.
Yeah, they're burying it. Yeah, well, we'll get to the burying part right now. So let's talk about the other Fatal 4-Way match, which was Cesaro, Rusev, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor.
Oh yeah,
so that was the second one, right?
You got it right this time.
And Finn Balor. So I'm just gonna say it. Finn Balor won the match.
Yeah.
And to everyone's surprise, he went on to face Roman Reigns in that main event of Raw. And I mean, do you guys want to talk about what happened in between all of that, or just want to go straight to the
they had
event?
a confrontation backstage. He's like, good luck, Roman. I invented luck, and then Roman's like, I'm Samoan. Enough said. It's like another. It's like a nice way of saying, be quiet.
Yeah.
But I just
we heard a little background noise.
Anyway, the thing is, I just don't.
Might be from.
I think this is what's going to happen.
Dog,
I know a lot of. I feel like I can feel a bunch of plots coming up to play with the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And even after SummerSlam, I have a tendency to think that Reigns could turn heel anytime during the Seth Rollins and Finn Balor match. Or otherwise, I could see Finn Balor either putting over Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins being the first Universal Championship, or I could even see Roman Reigns after Finn Balor wins the title against Rollins. Roman Reigns can come out of nowhere, maybe hit him with a spear. I mean, there's so many speculations involved with this because think about, Finn Balor is also a former member of the Bullet Club, so he can also turn heel as well and be the heel, the leader of the Bullet Club and the champion.
Yeah.
And lead, Anderson and Gallows. So that would be a great, role play. And then I could see Gallows and Anderson taking out Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and you can see the new formation of the Shield.
Shield against old school Bullet Club. Because remember, Finn and Anderson both founded the Bullet Club, and Gallows came along later.
Exactly.
But my thought process, of course, we talked about it Monday night. Not everyone on the Armbar team was collected when it came to Finn Balor, getting this main event opportunity. Tony and, I'm sure, Mike, you had your thoughts as well, where you went as far as saying, not too sure about Finn Balor, not sure if I care for Finn Balor.
I don't care for him, honestly. I think it's just too sudden in his career to already move him up to championship quality. I know he has a great wrestling background, but there are other people that paved the way before him. There are other people like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and I feel like they need to be pushed for a championship push for the main title. I mean, no offense to Finn Balor, but Finn Balor just got here. What makes you think that all of a sudden he's going to get a championship match? Okay, yes, we knew that he was in the NXT champion.
The longest reigning.
But come on. There are also champions before him. There are also NXT champions before him.
Bo Dallas,
like it or not. Neville, all those guys, they all deserve a push.
I mean, I agree to what you say, but at the same time, though, what has Bo Dallas been doing lately? Zayn and Owens just came off of a red-hot rivalry. Is it really time to push one of them into the title picture? Finn Balor, an incredible run in NXT, and right now, we really can't push Reigns and Rollins yet again for the main event for SummerSlam because Reigns just came off suspension. And for him
definitely burying him.
Yeah, for him to come back and all of a sudden he's put back in the main event picture just sends a bad message. Like, oh, you could be gone for 30 days from suspension, but don't worry, we'll put you back in the main event like nothing happened.
Maybe this is his penance for doing those, dirty.
For doing what he did that caused him to get suspended.
Yeah.
But yet Brock Lesnar gets little to no suspension time from either the UFC or the WWE.
It would be hypocritical for WWE not to suspend or do anything about Brock Lesnar. Not fine him or something at least,
Whether he's a part-time or full-time performer, it's like, come on, you got to set the example for all the other superstars. No one should be given any special treatment. Just, you messed up, got to pay the piper.
I agree. So my only take on the whole Balor thing and Roman Reigns thing is I really wish that they would have killed those fatal four-way matches, and did it tournament style, where they would have brackets, of course, like how they're doing it in the Cruiserweight Classic now. Okay, how many people do they have? 8 people, okay? They have a big enough roster to to have it had at least 16 people over a couple-week period. You know, this could have been a good tournament.
3 hours.
Yeah.
And then they put the Cruiserweight Champion after what, a good hour?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
So, of course, like, you know, let's not bury the other talent. I mean, give the other guys a shot. I mean, not that I want to see, you know, Big Show and like guys like Mark Henry, you know, be in these tournaments like in it for an extended period of time. But at least, hey, put other names out there. You know, I mean, make it a little more exciting than what it was. You know, I mean, not to say that Balor and Roman Reigns match wasn't good or anything. I mean, it's probably one of the best main events that we've seen on Raw in quite a while. You know, and I agree that they're burying Roman Reigns with Tony, and they're punishing him. And I think I saw a meme on Facebook or something like that saying that, like, he's did his time, you know, with the suspension, blah 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 blah. You know, he lost this match, like that's, you know, he's paid his debt, you know. But I'm just like, well, we've seen how they have buried stars in the past.
They raise them like Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
They raise all these guys, and they end up going to the kickoff. I hope that doesn't happen. But
yeah, well, no, I don't think we'll ever see Roman Reigns.
Also wrestled. Oh, Nia Jax.
Yeah, in their debut match against a local competitor, and Nia Jax,
Nikki K or K,
something along those lines.
I don't know. It was was it an NXT star? I forget. It was Britt Baker. I don't know who that is.
She's a jobber.
But
she's jobbed against Nia Jax.
What about the guy that Braun Strowman?
Oh, that was incredible.
The man with no chin.
I tell you what, that guy got a great reverse choke slam.
But you know what? Okay, aside from Braun Strowman, you know, pulverizing this young guy that probably weighs less than me, and I weigh a good 140. Okay, guys. You know, this whoever this was, I want to find his name real quick. Hold on.
His name was John Bob Gaduch, I think.
I can't even find it. It was such a.
It reminds me of if you think about it,
Colin Delaney.
God,
the guy with the missing leg or whatever.
No, that's Zach Gowen. Zach Gowen at least won a match.
Okay, check it out. His name was James Ellsworth. There you go. I found it finally. And this was actually after the women's championship.
It reminds me of an old 80s sitcom.
But this kid, I don't know who he is, but my God, the guy looks like he's dying from cancer or something like that. But he cut one of the sickest. Name
was Braun Strowman.
Yeah, you know, no, but he cut one of the sickest like promos from a non-WWE competitor I've ever seen. Like
he was a townie too.
Even then, like, you know, this guy had such great mic skills. I was like, wow, like he's there pouring his heart out, saying like I don't know what he was saying to the crowd. But I was paying attention, you know, and that was the key factor.
This guy looked like a little chihuahua, and you got Braun Strowman rubbing his face on the mat because he made a little pee-pee.
Yeah, pretty much. So
he looked like he just rubbed it in his face.
All right, so we're about to hit that 30-minute mark, fellas. You know, and like we always do, we're going to call those beautiful letters here at the station. So who's going to be my letter guy today? Is it going to be Tony? Is it going to be Jay?
I guess I'll do it.
All right, Jay, let's give it another whack, okay?
Want to do it together?
I think that would be horrible.
Let's see if I can do it.
I'll give you a countdown, okay? All right. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KCYP 97.7 FM, the city, Mission McAllen.
Great. I loved it, by the way. I don't even think I'm going to cut that out. I love it. Yeah. So let's continue on. This is 97.7 FM, the city, and you guys just heard Tony and Jay cut the sickest promo here ever on Station Live. But let's talk. I want to talk to you guys about several ways of listening to us, and you know, we make mention of this, you know, a couple times throughout the show, just so you guys know as a friendly reminder, right? So, Tony, you want to throw it out there?
If you guys have an iPhone, Android, whatever you have in your hand, go to the TuneIn Radio app and just put 97.7 FM the city, or you can even go to 97.7fm.com. Or if you guys go to YouTube all the time, you can even go to youtube.com, type under Armbar page. It looks like the Run DMC logo.
Mm-hmm. We have 26 subscribers. We need 27.
Yes. And plus we have a GoFundMe. You guys need to like contribute here. I mean, we need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
And if you guys want us to succeed, you can see all our old reruns, by the way, on Armbar. Put something good. You know, if you want, email us. Give us some comments about it. We have it. Go to KCYP Armbar. You'll see a bunch of old. If you guys like episode 8, first season. That was one of my favorites. We dressed up as the Shield. It was one of our Halloween edition.
That was the episode that made me a fan of Armbar.
I want to and this year I want to do something different this year, guys. If you, we want to do something fun for Halloween. Probably dress up, maybe some old legends or something. But guys, you need to check us out. We're on, YouTube.com. Go to type out Armbar KCYP. Find a bunch of episodes. You can even click into our link that Mike puts out on Facebook when you go into Armbar. You can also subscribe to the Twitter. What is the Twitter page?
Our Twitter page is twitter.com/UTPA_Armbar.
Exactly.
So we have a Twitter page, and although we don't have as many followers on Twitter, we still have a small following on our Twitter page. And let's see, we have one notification here, and let me click it. It might be from like a week ago. They liked our tweet from about a week ago when we posted our link to our live stream. So if you guys, like Tony said, find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, Twitter. We have different social outlets that you can find us on. You can message us live via Twitter, via Facebook. Get into the conversation. If you have an opinion, we want to get it out there also for you guys. So let's talk about it.
If you guys want to meet us in person, hell,
visit Tony. Yeah.
Listen to me. I live in the kitchen. 90% of my life is at HEB. Yep. In the kitchen on McAllen, 10th and Trenton, and you got Mike the Biz over there in the front end. He's running the business.
Running it, yeah. No pun intended, right?
And then you got Mr. Jay Ochoa. You can catch him at the if you decide to overdraft from your checking account.
Yeah, call him up. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
No, so anyway, let's move on. Okay, let's go back to Raw. Let's talk about the women's championship. Okay, so finally we have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the WWE, the coveted WWE Women White Strap Championship is what I like to call it, which is a big fan of Charlotte going on 300 plus days at reigning champion already, right? Since last year, Survivor Series,
Night of Champions
last year, almost a full year, good 300 plus days, and Sasha Banks finally getting her chance here, coming off an injury, and I have to say it was a really good match. What's going to happen because you don't. It's not normal to see title changes on the weekly shows, let alone Night of Champions, because no one had a title change that Night of Champions. So to see that, it was crazy. Sasha Banks is now your new women's champion and very well deserved. What do you guys think about that?
I actually like the fact that she dropped the title.
Really? So finally, it's about time, right?
Sasha Banks, she deserves to be a champion. I like to see her defend it to Bayley eventually. All the talent that all the women that haven't had the opportunity to be a champion. I could see. I wish Tamina when she comes back. I like to see a Tamina versus Sasha Banks. I mean.
Yeah. 2/3 of what was once known as Team Bad.
Exactly. I could see that. Or maybe Becky Lynch get a title shot, but she's on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But
how do we know that they're not going to create a different women's title?
Like WWE Women's Universal.
I know. We can see.
Or worse yet, bring back the Divas title.
Oh my gosh, no.
I mean, there's a lot of opportunity with these two brands now that they're creating championships. Now we can see some opportunity for Becky Lynch. I don't think she's ever won a title at NXT. So
no, the only NXT Women's Champions have been Paige, and then Charlotte, and then Sasha Banks, and then Bayley, and then of course current champion Asuka.
And I thought Charlotte was the longest, but I was wrong. It was Nikki, right?
Yeah, Nikki Bella from November of 2014 in Survivor Series when she beat AJ Lee in less than 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
And then up until Night of Champions last year in September when she finally lost it to Charlotte.
Well, how about Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks for the title? That could be a good card.
Could happen.
The boss against Nia, I could definitely see that.
The Amazonian Queen.
I love the entrance music to Nia Jax.
She's not like most girls.
She's not like most girls. I love that.
She's got an intensity about her and a ring presence that I can compare to guys like Baron Corbin, for instance. Where when I was watching him in NXT, I was like, man, this guy, even though the fans are hating him right now, he's going to be something one day. And I don't know, maybe Tony might not agree. He's shaking his head over here. But, like, a lot of people.
I never say anything wrong on him. I like him.
I like Baron Corbin. And I like Nia Jax also. I think the fact, and what's killing it for Roman Reigns also is the fact that she's related to The Rock. I think that's what kind of is a buzzer or is a kill. It's a kill switch or whatever you want to call it, I guess, for the fans, because they feel that, it's because they're related to this person that, they're getting an unfair push, just like you would talk about Charlotte Flair with her dad being the former 16-time heavyweight champion.
But yet Charlotte's very talented, so
she is, and people don't give her enough credit. Yes,
she did moves Ric Flair's never done. I saw Ric Flair do a big
she's very athletic, and she's a former gymnast, so it's not to no surprise that she can do a lot of things that her father was never able to do in the ring. Obviously, Ric Flair was more of a ground mat type wrestler. More of a grappler than anything. He wasn't a flashy showboater guy that jumped off the top rope or anything like that.
Well, actually, Flair did jump off the top rope.
Maybe in his early years.
When it was participated by another wrestler
when someone threw him out. Yeah, but
like Dustin Rhodes.
You have Charlotte and you have Sasha Banks, and it's just a great match. And it was a leading up match since their NXT days. I mean, that's Sasha Banks prior won the NXT Women's Championship from Sasha or from Charlotte. Excuse me, Sasha Banks waiting for herself. Excuse me, brain freeze. But okay. I see some acknowledgement going on over here, fellas. What do I see? What's going on? Is something you want to mention?
No, we're talking about as far as NXT Women's Championship facts. Also, Sasha Banks and Charlotte winning their matchup that they had this past Monday night. A lot of people, including even the Nature Boy Ric Flair, said himself, perhaps the greatest women's match of all time, or perhaps on television at least.
Comparable,
Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Do you think Dana Brooke has a possibility of maybe?
She's on SmackDown though, no, or no?
No, she's on.
She's still on Raw.
Yeah, do you think Dana Brooke?
Dana Brooke. If she got away from Charlotte,
yeah,
she could have potential.
Do you think it reminds me of like the Batista and Triple H rivalry? When Batista felt like he was getting guarded by Triple H, and they're making it look like he was just the big muscle of the group, and he just got tired of getting taken advantage of. And I could see Dana Brooke pulling away from that.
I mean, who knows? Dana Brooke reminds me of a young Trish Stratus, so to speak.
Come on, man! What did Trish Stratus do to you?
Does anyone remember Trish Stratus? She was a heel at one point in her career. And
yes, but don't. Don't compare
even
her.
Trish Stratus would say, and I watched this on the WWE Network. That at the beginning of her career, she was more of a manager, just like Dana Brooke was. She was she was a ringside presence. So, she had to, build those skills, over the years, coming up with people. And eventually, she became, the greatest women's champion of all time, right? Or so to speak, she can compare her. You can compare her to the Moolah. Moolah held the title for 50 years. I don't know, but
or not that long, but yeah.
I thought it was 18 years, wasn't it?
It was 28 years.
It was 20-something years, yes, champion, longest reign, probably women's champion ever.
So she lost to Wendy Richter.
So we got 4 viewers now. Hey, how's it going, people?
Hey guys, what's up?
Let's move on from the women's division. 5 viewers now. Great, I'm loving this. So let's go on and let's talk about do you guys want to talk about that main event already? Any last comments about the women's title there?
Well, hey, just a great reign for Sasha Banks.
Hopefully it didn't last long.
Highly deserved.
Yeah,
heavily deserved.
The crowd said it that night on Raw. You deserve it. I think we already covered the main event.
We already covered the main event, so if you guys want.
A couple of takes. Your take on the new announced team of Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves on Monday Night Raw.
I think Corey Graves does a better job than Saxton.
I hate Saxton, but everyone likes Saxton, yeah. I mean, I think Saxton can be a great ring announcer, actually.
What did Corey say?
He's one of our viewers. Thank you, Corey, from Michigan.
How's it going, bro? I'm gonna start singing for you.
Yes. He's already got the karaoke machine ready.
But yeah. But basically, I think Corey Graves deserves to be where he's at right now. I mean, considering the length of time that he has been on the announce table, in NXT up to now, and now being a part of the Raw team, I think he's done a phenomenal job. He has his own show on, that tattoo show or whatever.
Superstar Inc.
And he's still an upcoming guy, and we have a lot to see from him. Obviously, he's going to make mistakes, because he's going from a pre-recorded show in NXT to a live show, and the
only time he's been live is one for the takeover shows.
Exactly. So like JBL has said in the past with other stars, he has all potential and all the talent, to be a good one,
And he's got his own action figure coming out, as I saw.
Corey Graves?
Yeah. The San Diego Toy
Great.
Comic
Congrats
I
to
wonder
him,
what
man.
Saxon's going to look like.
Deserved.
It has been
I think it's
made.
well
I don't think
deserved.
it will be.
As far as Saxon
I want the
goes,
AJ Styles figurine that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was trying to overshadow Graves a little bit. I don't know if anyone noticed that.
They used to work together, remember,
But,
on
I mean,
NXT with Rich Brennan not too long ago. So,
Rich Brennan, he got fired, right?
Fortunately.
Unfortunately for him, yeah.
I liked Rich Brennan a lot, but anyway, let's go. What about any other comments about what happened on Raw?
That's pretty much it. We pretty much covered everything.
All right,
Let's over to the A show, the SmackDown. As JBL would say, we fight on Tuesday nights. Well, he say Friday nights when he was commentating with Josh Matthews back in the day.
Okay, so I have the recap here, but like I said, I didn't watch it, so you guys are gonna have to
now
fill me
who's
in
on
this.
commentary now for the SmackDown
JBL,
shows?
Morrow, and
David Otunga.
David Otunga. I don't know what's going on with that.
He's doing actually a pretty good job. Actually,
You know what? I think they just.
I'm amazed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I heard it was horrible. Like, my friend Carlos watched the show. Shout outs to you, bro. I don't know if you're watching, but he said it was horrible. Like, this is the SmackDown commentary thing.
Shout outs to Isaac. He basically said Morrow's great. Otunga and JBL need to go.
Yeah.
I kind of have to disagree. I mean, Otunga, he kind of brings some hype to it, and Morrow and JBL, I think, have built right because JBL's worked with Cole for years. A little bit of Josh Matthews he's worked with.
Wish Taz would come back.
Taz is making a lot of money doing his own podcast, the Taz Show, on CBS Radio. But never say never. I think Morrow and JBL, if it was built right, they could be the next JR and the
great,
King,
yeah.
or the next Monsoon and Ventura.
Let's talk about SmackDown because it's interesting. American Alpha is back.
Soon to be debuting. The Blue Ropes are back too.
Yes, the Blue Ropes. Even the microphones changed too. I saw the microphones.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Shelton Benjamin's return.
And Rhino.
And can you imagine?
Can
Can you imagine you get Shelton Benjamin managing American Alpha?
There's possible plans, but that's more of a dirt sheet.
What if that turned into a trio? Is my question. Shelton Benjamin being the head of that, being their mentor in American Alpha. That's. I mean, we talked about it in the past with Kurt Angle, but now that Kurt Angle's kind of out of the picture just for now, we don't know if he's going to return. There's speculation of that. He's had his talks with Triple H, but Shelton Benjamin is part of the what is that? What do they used to call it?
World's greatest
tag team with Charlie Haas. So a lot of contributing factors that can go in for it. And I'm excited to see that, Tony.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super excited to see
This is
that.
a new generation.
Yeah, you're right. And let's talk about that 6-pack challenge, though. Tell me more about that, guys.
Well, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, what I liked was, unlike Raw, where you had Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley in the ring, the rest of the wrestlers on the stage, it felt more like a, come together meeting because all the wrestlers were all on the ring apron while Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan were conducting business. It felt more like a team, unity with SmackDown. Like, hey, we're all in this together, as opposed to how things are run over on Raw. Right. But they decided, hey, let's do a 6-pack challenge. They already named their first 5 competitors, which was John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles. The 6th was to be determined in a battle royal, which would be won by, Apollo Crews in this match. The only reason I say that is because I'm waiting for Mike to sing. Yes.
Corey, I'm expecting something from Corey.
But very well deserved for Apollo Crews. Already.
Oh, man, Bray Wyatt impressed the heck out of me.
But yes, he did Bray Wyatt. And then also we had...
excuse my horrible singing, by the way.
It's okay. I kind of brought that
to the
up.
wrestling fans out there.
But yes, Apollo Crews, very well-deserved victory in the Battle Royal. It was not a Darren Young-like victory, when he won the Battle Royal. He won it convincingly, with all respect to Darren Young, of course. But at the same time, though, 6 superstars all going for a shot at the WWE World Championship.
So this is like a 6 fatal way or whatever you want to call it.
6-pack challenge.
6-pack challenge, yeah. Basically, which was the main event, right?
Yeah, main event later on
Okay,
that
so
night.
who were the other entrants? I got it right there.
Well, the other entrants in the Battle Royal were everyone else that wasn't called out, basically. Like, aside from Apollo Crews, who eventually was the winner of the Battle Royal, he had also, trying to remember who else. Legion Ascension.
Cena.
Well, Cena was already into the match. He was already
kidding,
there.
yeah.
He didn't have to do anything.
He just had to do the song.
Yes. Hey, it's all good.
Corey.
And yeah, it looks like Corey from Michigan is his Vince McMahon voice. Stop it!
His ears are probably bleeding right now. It's all right.
Right
That's
about
why I do
now,
it.
Does he still have that mullet?
Yeah. From what I last saw, yeah. He does.
Okay,
I don't know why every time I see him, I want to
So
say
you guys
Joker.
were mentioning the rest of the people that were in that match for the Battle Royal, you mean?
It was the Battle Royal for
Apollo
the
Crews.
6th and final spot.
Yeah.
In the 6-pack challenge.
I mean, Apollo Crews won it, but the other people in there, I got it listed right there.
Yeah, it was
Zack
the
Ryder,
Ascension, the Hype Bros,
Yeah.
I can see-
Usos,
Kane also.
Breezango, Kane.
I think there are a lot of big names. Kalisto was there also.
Kalisto,
yeah.
The final four came down to Apollo Crews, Kalisto, Zack Ryder.
Yeah, everything there. Yeah, that I see that I just named. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that sounds pretty interesting, actually. I mean, that sounds a little. Well, I mean, it sounds like somewhat what they did on Raw, minus the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, just more condensed, more
Yeah, but
faster pace.
you have all these matches leading up to SummerSlam. How far is SummerSlam away?
About 4 weeks away.
Yeah,
So
at least for a
why
month.
rush all of this? Why put it all in one night? This is what was kind of upsetting for me a little bit.
So, but you did.
But
Go
you also
Cameron.
you have several weeks to build it.
Yeah, well, you have several weeks to build a match. Yeah, but I mean,
I was gonna tell you. I know. Don't you
that's just
remember
me.
when
I'm old
they
school.
did the split brands? Didn't they have separate pay-per-views per brand at the time? Now they're gonna do it all together in unison.
Well, yeah.
It's funny you made that interesting comment, Tony, because on SmackDown this past Tuesday night, Shane McMahon announced that SmackDown was doing their own separate pay-per-views exclusive to WWE Network, which means to those that still get the pay-per-views through your local cable company like Time Warner, for example, SmackDown events will not be on Time Warner Cable, only just on the WWE Network. And they start on Sunday, September 11th with Backlash, which for years, which was a Raw event, now it's a SmackDown theme event. So it should be interesting, but that's September. Right now, we still got the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam.
Definitely. I just feel like there's gonna be some, heels turning. At
Faces being
SummerSlam,
made.
faces being made. I have a feeling something's gonna change because this is the new era. I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
The Miz and Randy Orton, golly, that was actually a pretty good match if you think about it. The way he comes back and Randy's like, "Oh, you don't have to defend."
How long ago he was on NXT helping the young talents out, including also
They can hear us. There we
facing
go.
the NXT champion Samoa Joe.
There we're back.
I mean, he had a campaign in Detroit.
Yeah.
Was he running for mayor?
I believe for city council, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. But he wasn't the only one that was on his way back to SmackDown. Was Rhino, another SmackDown original.
Kane?
Ain't no stopping me.
Oh yes, we just mentioned Shelton Benjamin, one of the masters of the T-bone.
the gold standard.
Oh man,
It's great. It'll be great seeing Sheldon Benjamin back on SmackDown.
He had quite a career back in the Ruthless Aggression era. I liked when he used to bring his mom. Well, it was not really a mom.
Yeah.
It was actually a comedian. It was not really his mom, but she was so funny. She was a hoot, and him dyeing his hair gold at the time,
Multiple-time Intercontinental Champion, by the way.
U.S. champion,
multiple
tag team
Yeah.
beat Triple H when he got drafted to Raw. Remember?
Yeah.
I liked the match with him versus Shawn Michaels. It was very historical to me. I mean, I know he took that bump when he was getting on the springboard on the ropes and he was jumping and Shawn Michaels hits him with that really big old super kick. That was just honorary. I mean, him taking the hit with that.
I remember that. Yeah, I saw a replay
of
that.
A super kick, right?
Someone posted a video about that recently, and I was like, wow, like I remember
super
that.
kicks were still cool.
Yes, I would take a bump for that one. Definitely, I would take a super kick from Shawn Michaels.
Not so much from the Young Bucks.
From the top.
Not from the Young Bucks. I would take it from Shawn Michaels. I would definitely put over Shawn Michaels if I ever had a match with him. If I was a wrestler.
Yeah.
But
as far as the Young Bucks, you'd probably be like, yeah.
No, I would never put them over.
Yeah, I still remember Best in the World where you were just like traumatized by the amount of super kicks the Young Bucks were throwing.
It's horrendous. I mean, I think that's all they know how to do is do a super kick. I just think that it's just downright wrong. I mean, might as well do some bionic elbows. But come on, super kick, super kick, super kick. Why don't you just might as well Stan Hansen lariat? It's just, or maybe do like a missile drop kick, double drop kicks, like Daniel Bryan would do. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he had so much energy doing those drop kicks.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is with the Young Bucks. It was cool with the super kick parties, but you open my eyes to that. Like
almost every wrestler now does a super kick, and it's like a DDT. Back in the day, in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, a vertical suplex or a snap suplex used to be the finisher for a wrestler.
Or a super kick would be a finisher for a guy like Shawn Michaels or Haku.
Yeah.
Now it's like, even Jim Cornette would say the same. When you throw about a million super kicks, eventually it's like, come on, it loses its power.
You know what I really wish they would do? They don't do the teardrop suplex. No one has done the teardrop suplex. It's like a pump handle back belly suplex, right?
I believe so, man. Kind of remember the move, but
that was when Michaels was doing it.
Right? The one, yeah. I remember, but yeah. But going back to SmackDown, also, we had the six-pack challenge where the winner was to challenge Dean Ambrose for the championship. Ambrose was at ringside, and then of course the man that won it, which
Ziggy,
was the dark horse of it. But
yeah, that was a surprise to me.
Dolph Ziggler, you know why he deserved it?
Right here, yeah.
I just couldn't believe AJ put Ziggler over.
And how did Ziggler win that match?
Super kick.
But at least it was a finisher, unlike multiple.
Yes, and he used it once.
Yeah,
he used it
once every 5 seconds.
That was just getting annoying. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, Ziggler's been using it for how long? I mean,
yeah, he
doesn't rely on it as much as like a lot of
zigzag or the sleeper.
I haven't seen him do that rocker drop or leg drop.
Or the famouser.
Yeah,
the famouser is what we like to call it. But I'm surprised that I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan, so to speak. So
are you here to show off?
I'm here to show off, and I hope one of these days I'll buy a shirt of his. I don't have one yet, unfortunately.
I do,
but. It's interesting to see the landscape and how it's changed in a little course of just a couple weeks, actually.
It really is becoming a new era. It's not,
we're
going to present change and it's the same old, same old.
Yeah, because like 3 weeks ago, where was Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler was.
Did he even wrestle in Battleground? Did he have a match? And now he's main eventing at SummerSlam.
Yeah, here's the thing. He has not wrestled on a pay-per-view since what?
WrestleMania, maybe?
No, I take that back. In the back, he and Baron Corbin were they got bumped from, not bumped, I'm sorry, they got
they were in the pre-show, right?
From the pre-show to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But before then, he was doing 2 pre-shows straight with Baron Corbin.
He was laying down to him every match.
Yeah.
Not every match, though. I believe it was.
He lost.
No, he lost. only at Extreme Rules and at Money in the Bank. At Payback, he beat Baron
Am I
Corbin.
frozen? Are we frozen still? No, we're still live.
But it's great that Dolph Ziggler's getting this opportunity. And I just hope it's not just here, we're going to give you this and then back to where you go afterwards. Even if Ziggler loses against Ambrose at SummerSlam,
At least a milestone.
at least it's the first of many big opportunities for for Mr. Ziggles.
Ziggy Smalls.
Ziggy, I mean, this could actually create a really good storyline because if you think about it, it reminds me of the rivalry with Jeff Hardy versus Triple H for the title.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, another shot with a brass ring, back and forth, and then eventually ends up winning the title. I could see that going on.
Except the Hardy didn't win it from Triple H; it took it from Edge. But still, it was a very feel-good moment when Jeff Hardy won the WWE title at Armageddon in 2008. Which I'm sure Corey from Michigan, you remember that night. We were hanging at RA's the night it happened. But yeah, just for Dolph Ziggler, look at how much he's had to go through. I mean, in the past couple of years, he went from being in the Intercontinental title picture with The Miz, being the sole survivor for Team Cena to eliminate the Authority at Survivor Series. We thought 2015 was going to be a big year for him, but instead it was dead-end feuds with Sheamus, Rusev, Tyler Breeze, and in 2016, him being an Intercontinental title ladder match was almost like an afterthought. And his match with Baron Corbin, I'll be honest, his matches with Baron Corbin, I did not look forward to.
I did not care for them. They're throwaway matches to me.
I was just like, Ziggler, what's WWE doing with you? And then sure enough, he wins this matchup pinning one of the top guys in the WWE right now, AJ Styles. And now he's got the shot against
that was
the dude.
That was great of AJ Styles to put him over like that.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Did you guys watch Ride Along after Raw?
I did not, Tony, but we're already in our last couple minutes, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to save that ride-along conversation for
second hour
until afterwards. But let's go ahead and give our final shout-outs before we go. It's already late, so I don't think there's gonna be a little final hour. If you want, you can have Corey call in for a couple minutes.
I gotta head to the bar afterwards.
Yeah,
you guys want to give a shout-out first?
Shout-outs, yeah.
Okay, shout out to my wife. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to Ray Ramirez and his son. Ray Ramirez, I think it's the third. Also, I want to give out a shout out to HEB.
We're here. Everything's better.
Yes, to all my friends out there. And I want to give a shout out to my father. I love you. And Jay, I want to give a shout out to Jay as well. I haven't seen this guy forever. I miss this guy. And Mike and Isaac. Love you guys. And it's going to be 1 year this year that I've been a member of Armbar and 6 months with this guy right here.
Today's already 6 months I've been here. It's awesome. Shout outs. First, I want to give a shout out to childhood friend of mine, Victor Rodriguez, a.k.a. El Vitor, who's going on to some big things. Congratulations. Can't wait to see you at the bar tonight. Same thing with another childhood buddy of mine, Armand. Can't wait to see you and drink some beer together. Also, shout outs to my family, my mom, my brother, my sister, and my Uncle Joe. And shout out to the soon-to-be returning Isaac, the architect. Can't wait to see you back here, buddy. And Corey from Michigan, thanks for always tuning in to Armbar.
All right, and I guess I'll just close it out by giving a shout out to everyone that listens to us here at the station, online, on Facebook, Twitter. We appreciate the fans that we have out there, people that like wrestling, everyone that loves to listen to us on a weekly basis. My recommendation to all of you guys is if you guys like our show, please share our page. Please, share our YouTube pages, our Facebook pages, get the word out, down here in the Rio Grande Valley. We have a voice, and, we want to be the voice of the voiceless as well. If you guys have an opinion about something that's going on, feel free to comment on our posts, and, we'll make mention of it on the show on the following week. So, so to speak, every time I post something on here, our video feed, our live video feed, you can post on something. If you're watching, post it, and I will definitely give you a shout out. So, thank you all for listening, and let's go ahead and do the final thing. I'll do it this time. All right. Our slogan already. I know it already. Okay. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do. Thank you all for listening. This is 97.7 FM The City, and you're listening to Armbar Radio. We'll see you next week.
I'm going to the bar.
Time to get drunk. Yeah, we're still on live, but we'll see you guys next week. Too Sweet, baby. Thank you all for watching.
No
and
gloves.
and Corey from Michigan.
He does that with love.
I know you secretly go, John Cena sucks.
Oh, he's done that a few times.
Yep. All right. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Peace
Good
out.
night.